going to UFC and then going to Legacy FC, winning the title there. Take me back. What was that moment winning the title there, and
So,
what it meant for your career?
um, so what it was supposed to mean in my career was that I was going to go back to the UFC.
Hmm.
Uh, that's what they told me, and I'm gonna. It's crazy you brought that up, but that's really what took fighting MMA. That's what made me lose my hunger for it. Um,
Oh,
UFC cut me, and they told me go to Legacy, go to Legacy for a few fights, win the title, we'll bring you right back. I win the title. They fly me out to Chicago. Cowboy fought some Brazilian dude and kicked his head off there, knocked him out. I can't remember who the Brazilian guy was. One of Cowboy's head kick knockouts in Chicago. Anyways, they brought me over there. They have a meeting with me, and they're like, "We want to bring you back to the UFC, but maybe as a commentator or as
mm. Hmm.
something else, not not fighting, because at the time they had Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo, Chad Mendez, Cub Swanson, and I can't remember who the other name was. I think Lamas or something. Those guys were on fire at the time. They were really doing big things. The zombie was blowing up, all these different people, and they're like, doesn't really make sense to bring you right back and throw you in the mix and pay you all this money right now, you know.
Hmm.
But if we bring you back as a commentator, then you can do what what's the guy Dominic Cruz. You can do what
Hmm.
he does, commentate a few fights, kind of whatever, kind of pick a guy to fight, go out and train, and then we'll give you another fight. But they didn't want to throw me right back in the mix, and I kind of, man, I took that hard. I was like, man, y'all told me just to go win this
Yeah.
title, you'd bring me right back and throw me right in the mix of things. And I wanted to fight Conor McGregor. I wanted to fight, Jose Aldo. I wanted to test myself against these dudes. And when they told me that, man, I was just like, man, you know what? I'm done, man. I'm done. And then they asked me to defend the title legacy, and I was like, man, whatever. And then I knew I was going to retire after that. Uh, so I was like, you know what, I'm done with MMA. But then they told me Daniel Pineda, right?
Hmm.
Uh, so I was like, you know what, this dude will throw down with me. He won't want to grapple. He won't want to do any of that. He'll scrap if I tell him like, hey man, throw down with me. Let's go toe to toe. Let's show these people a good fight. That way I can retire on a good fight. You know what I mean? Like a good
Hmm.
scrap. And he's game. He's like, hell yeah, this and that. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. His nickname is the pit bull, or I can't, that, something crazy, like, Daniel Pineda wants to, he's one of those guys, he's Mexican. I was like, hell yeah, he's gonna scrap. It'll be a good fight to go out on. It'll be a good note. Dude comes in, well, I'm talking trash. His family's there, and I'm like, if you're a man, you'll stand toe to toe with me.
Yeah.
He's like, hell yeah, let's do it. Man, he comes in, dude, and shoots in on me in the first 3 seconds of the fight. And I ain't up, man. I for reals, I've never felt this in a fight, but man, dude, I wanted to cry. I was
Oh.
just like, I can't believe this dude shot in on me. He told me he was gonna scrap. He told me we were gonna throw down. He shot in on me, and I just like, man, I was just like, to hell with it, man. I hate this sport. I hate that he had that out. And he's a dang good grappler, you know what I mean? And if I would have been getting ready for a grappling match, it would have been a good fight. But I was just getting ready to scrap, man, like me and Joe Elmore did.
Hmm.
So Daniel Pineda let me down that night, man. I felt really, yeah, it was ugly, man. So when I walked away from MMA, from when I walked away from that, it was like with a real bad taste in my mouth. I hated that sport. You know what I mean? and it
Hmm.
sucked. To me, it sucked because guys had a way out. They didn't have to fight. They could just shoot in, not take any risk, and try to submit a guy.
Hmm. And especially like I think his nickname's like the Pit.
Yeah, the
So
pit. There you go. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Dan. Yeah, the pit. Like, man, come on, dude. Your nickname's the pit, and you're gonna shoot in on me in the first
Yeah.
3 seconds of the fight. Like, man, come on, man. But you know, I don't know. I tripped out on that, man. I really did. It was a letdown. But either way, man, it was good. It just it all played out to end the way it did, so it worked out.
Yeah, and it led to you going to bare knuckle, and you had a
Yeah,
great career there.
yeah,
And I think you won the. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was like the WBF Latin America champion, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Still, and I still have that one. So I retired as it's basically like the the bare knuckle international title. So I retired as a international champion and the number one ranked guy at that weight class because there is no champion there. So at the end of
Hmm.
the day, I feel like I retired the only belt holder at 165. So I retired as a champion. You
That's
know, and,
awesome.
it was cool. I loved every minute of it. I love bare knuckle, man. And like Incident in a way said, if it had been around 20 years, that's all I would have done for the next 20 years. But it's like I said, man, it's a great sport. I'm excited to watch it keep growing. And hopefully if this fight team thing does happen, I'll pick a great fight team. And like I said, hopefully my guy